everyone and welcome to today's stain card. It's Friday. Today we're going to be making a masculine card. It's going to we're using the paper from the In Colour 2013-2015 Designer Series pack. So you've got your beautiful colours in there, your baked brown, coastal cabana, crisp cantaloupe, pistachio pudding and strawberry slush. I've taken the coastal cabana out. Now I've started to make a stencil. I've just cut some acetate out and it's hard to see, but I've also punched out just using my 3/4 circle and just randomly punched circles on that. We're going to be doing using some embossing paste, using the white from Wendy Vecchi embossing paste, and on the left hand side I'm just going to use the circles that I've already punched out as a soft background. Now I'm just going to get some washi tape and tape all around the edges. You see I've placed that securely on using some washi tape. I don't want it to be moving when I'm applying the embossing paste. Now this one here I'm going to let it air dry afterwards, so I'm just going to generously apply, and I'm actually not going to make it smooth. I want it to be like a rough type of texture. So it might not even finish the circles off, but it's just going to be a rough texture. I want to create, this is going to be the base of my normal top folding card, so that's going to be top folding. I've got some scrap pieces of Bermuda Bay, and I've got the chevron punch. Now I'm going to make sure that's adhered down. Alright, so really I just want these pieces here, and then I'm also going to do a black strip of cardstock as well. I really just want to collect the punch. I know it's not really the right terminology, but the punch poop. Like that. Okay, I've cut a strip of white cardstock and I have trimmed this down as well, the black punch, and I'm just going to make sure this is really well adhered down to this white strip of cardstock. Alright, so placing that down, it's the same width as the black cardstock, and I'm going to then place the Bermuda Bay and embed it in each of the chevron that had been punched out. Alright, and you can see what a lovely contrast adding a two-tone punch, placing this in, does. So it's all going to be a flush one layer, but you've also got a faux type of look of extra layers on a card. Alright, okay, so that's that. Doesn't look great, so making sure you adhere that all of them down quite securely. Okay, so I've laid some acetate down. At the moment the in trend is really watercolouring, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some coastal cabana, just laying it down on there, and then I'm going to press some Bermuda Bay, and I'm just going to press it on the bottom corner of this coastal cabana. Okay, so I've just grabbed a misting bottle, and you can just use any misting bottle you want. Stampin' Up! Have a spritzer one, and I'm just going to generously apply and spritz water to this. I want it to start pooling, and you can see the pooling of that already. Alright, so I've got the card base that we worked on, and you can see how gorgeous and an extra texture that's made on the card. So all I want to do now is just press really lightly on this bottom left corner and just pounce on it. That's all I want. And I want to see what kind of effect, watercolour effect, this will leave. So I really want my main colour to be on the bottom right. Alright, and then I'm going to put some of the light Coastal Cabana here. Alright. Okay, so it's just to add another layer of texture. So with my heat gun, I'm going to generously heat this up. Setting that aside, I'm going to use the heat gun and just get it really dry. So I've brought it back in and I'm going to spray again with water and make sure it's really cooled up again. Oop, that's my old one. Alright, so then I'm going to pounce again, trying to get it in between those other layers. So you're seeing how it's creating such a unique watercolor look. Alright, so I think I'm pretty happy with that. It's all about just playing with textures and layers. Alright, and then I'm just going to put that through the heat gun again. Alright, so bringing the gorgeous grunge stamp set in, I'm using this stripe sketch stamped image, and I'm just going to use the Encore Gold and ink that up. I'm going to stamp that here on the bottom right. Like that. I've got some gold washi tape from Stampin' Up that I'm going to place along here. And I'm going to tear it so it looks a bit grungy. Right, so bringing that Coastal Cabana Designer Series paper, adhering that down flat just above the gold washi tape. Like that. Alright, so I'm going to snail the chevron punch out, and I've just trimmed it down. I'm just going to place that. Now, was it this one or the longer one that I had in mind? Alright, okay, I've taken the smaller one off and I wanted to use the longer version. Placing it slightly so you can see some of that gold Encore grunge stamp set behind. I've die cut using the new gold foil cardstock, just using a My Favourite Things die, the feathers die. Placing dimensionals behind the die, I'm just going to adhere that down like that. Alright, so I've grabbed the blue ribbon sentiment Happy Birthday because it's got that kind of grungy look to it. I've got my VersaFine Onyx black ink, and I'm just going to make sure that's really, really covered. I love VersaFine ink. It's not only a fine detailed ink, but it is a pigment ink and it is thick still. I don't want any rim or white rim showing, so I have grabbed my 1 1/4 inch circle punch. So this will fit flush when you punch it out. Because there's a bit of dimension in the area that I want to put it in, I will put dimensionals on one side and then adhere down with snail on the other side. If you've got foam tape, I would recommend using foam tape all around because it has been warped. This is not watercolored paper, which if you want to do a watercolor look and a stronger layered look, I would definitely go for a watercolor look, watercolor paper. But at the moment, I had a really good wide cardstock card base, so I was pretty happy with that. Right, so I've got my Tombow Mono adhesive. I'm going to place one there, one here, and it's a rule of thumb to go in threes. It's like my good friend Geordie taught me. There's one in the corner here. Right, so letting that dry, but just as I finish the card off just by adding that little sequence on there. And there you go, thank God it's Friday, using stencils again, creating your own stencils with your punch outs and using the new embossing paste. You can pretty much just create so many layers and almost make a mixed media project on your card. Alright, thanks for watching everyone. Hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment or visit my Facebook page or my blog with the project recipe. Alright, catch you later. Happy paper crafting, peeps. Bye.